like underrated players. I like players that don't really get the respect they always deserve. And I'm actually going to take this hot take this week from Brad Stevens. He's called Kyle Lowry the most underrated player in the league. Mo, I know you tend to agree with Brad Stevens on most things, but from looking at Kyle Lowry, you actually agree with this hot take this week.
All right, but before I give my answer,
Look again, Mo. Mo, just give me that look again, Mo. I want that look again.
Throw his head coach in his face, and then he has to turn around and just make a decision. Do you disagree with your own head coach?
Brad Stevens, I love you, and you're an amazing basketball mind. But are we talking about the same guy that on Monday night scored 10 points while his team got destroyed after winning 2 games in a row? Are we talking about that same one? Where his teammates were saying, the Celtics messed up by letting us win 2 in a row. Are we talking the same guy?
Head coach.
I know what he said. I know what he said. I just want to say, we're all talking about the same guy that's scored 10 points while his team got blown out on Monday night, right? All right, cool. Kyle Lowry. Now, I get it. I get where Brad's coming from in terms of he does all the little things. He takes charges. He harasses the opposition guards on the defensive end. I get he does all the intangible things. He makes winning plays. I can't discredit Kyle Lowry for that. But what I can say is when you're talking about being underrated in the NBA, Kyle Lowry has been an all-star for the past 6 seasons. You can't be underrated and be an all-star at the same time. That just is illogical for a start. And when we look at the underrated players in the NBA, I could give you a list of people that are way more underrated than Kyle Lowry.
Mo.
I'm talking.
Please, Mo, don't be shy.
I'll tell you, Yusuf Nurkic is more underrated than Kyle Lowry. I'll tell you, Derrick Rose right now is more underrated than Kyle Lowry. I'll tell you, Aaron Baines. I'll tell you, Bojan Bogdanovic. I can go on and on and on. But I'll give you one name who's way more underrated than Kyle Lowry.
Aaron Baines comes up on the show again. Yeah.
Listen. Show some love, Aaron Baines. The man who's
I don't know.
The man who's more underrated than Kyle Lowry is going up against him every night in this series. That man's name is Marcus Smart because he does all the exact same things that Kyle Lowry does in terms of the toughness, the defense, the winning plays. But the difference is Marcus Smart can guard from 1 to 5. Kyle Lowry can't. The difference is Marcus Smart got hot in that, that game 2. He went off in that 4th quarter. I ain't seen Kyle Lowry do that. All I've seen from Kyle Lowry is, he had many years of choking in the playoffs. Then Kawhi Leonard came, rescued his reputation and carried him to a championship. Now what? He's an all-star every year because the whole of Canada votes for him. He's not underrated. If anything, for me, he's overrated.
Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. Ovie, I'm just going to get back to some of the facts.
Raptor fans are going to be on to me.
Oh, your Twitter is going to be off.
I'm finished. I'm finished.
What I'm going to say to you is, Ovie, this guy's an NBA champion. Will probably go down as the greatest Raptor ever in terms of longevity. So, do you agree that he's the most underrated player in the league?
You said in terms of longevity.
He's not.
Well, I have to. Look, I'm not going to put him ahead of T-Mac. I'm not going to put him ahead of Vince Carter. And I'm not going to put him ahead of Kawhi Leonard. But at the same time, in terms of longevity...
It's easy. He's not. He's just not. He's not one of the underrated. In my opinion, Kyle Lowry is solid. He's solid. Do you know what I mean? He's a good leader. He does what the team needs him to do on any given night. He can score big points on one night. He'll like Mo said, he'll do some of the garbage stuff on one night, which in my opinion isn't really warranting of the All-Star sort of label. For me, I mean, I like Van Fleet more than I like Lowry, but that's a whole nother discussion. Let's just leave that on the side. So I feel like he's been someone, again, like Mo said, he's come up short every year up until Kawhi's come. That's just a fact. They've come up short. Every time they've gone to the playoffs, they've had years where they've been great in the regular season, number 1 team in the East, number 2 team in the East, whatever, got into the playoffs, and he's choked. And at the end of the day, as a star, as an all-star, as one of the guys on that team, unfortunately, the NBA is about production. You have to take some of that on your shoulders. When you're getting paid the big bucks, you take that responsibility. Team game, yeah, but the All-Stars, they're supposed to get you over the hump. Do you know what I mean? And he's fallen short too many times for us to start saying now that, he's still given this All-Star thing, which I get it. The city loves him. The Six loves him. Toronto loves him. But let's not do that overrated talk. No. We'll let him be your king and your hero, and let's just leave it at that. Because
Ayo, BJ, I'm gonna spit to you. I'm gonna spit to you on a level because me and you just look at working me here. He's one of the top guys to come out of Philly. Yeah, up there with Meek Mill, Freeway, and Lou Will. One of the best people. Just wait,
one of the top guys to ever come out of Philly.
I'm talking to my brother
coming out of
BJ.
Philly?
Yeah, I'm talking to my brother BJ. Yeah, and getting it back to the court, he's averaging 21.5, 7 and 7 in this series right here. Like, so you see the facilitating for other teammates. You see the floor generalship. I'm just asking you, like, do you not believe Brad Stevens has a case? And also Jaydee Dyer and Joe as well. In turn around and saying, look, he's the most underrated player in this league.
No. Yeah, Jaydee, you're my guy. You're my man. That's the answer.
Tell him.
You're my guy. No, Jaydee, you're my guy. But no, he's not the most underrated. And listen, Brad Stevens, I get what Brad Stevens is saying. And I've had an opportunity to be with Kyle Lowry on numerous occasions. And one of the things I came to appreciate him, especially at the 2016 Olympics in Rio, when he was with the USA team, was he does have a great ability. Not good. He's great at organizing people. He really has leadership qualities. And from a coach's perspective, I'm sure, Brad Stevens and all of the coaches, they appreciate it because he really, really does a great job on that end. However, he's not underappreciated. If anyone, Van Fleet is probably the most underappreciated guy on the team because this guy comes out and produces night in and night out in big moments. And he's played very well. But you know what? Marcus Smart, Montrezl Harrell, there's a plethora of guys in the NBA that you have to look at and say, you know what? They're underappreciated because you see these guys time and time again find ways to contribute to a team when they're not the first, second, or third option. Kyle Lowry doesn't have that problem there in Toronto, but I give him credit for this. Behind the scenes, and I can understand why coaches have an appreciation for him because you need that type of leadership, especially at his position. But other than that, this guy has every opportunity to score, does what he needs to do, and go out there and play. So I can't take that, Jaydee. But you're my guy still there, Jaydee. It's not personal.
I even tried to bring in a few hip-hop heads for you so you can get reference. Do you know what I mean? Just how good he is in terms of context of Philly.
Hey, Brad Stevens is just playing mind games. That's what good coaches do.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. They bump up the opposition. They'll give them credit. They'll say, oh, yeah, he's a great player. In the locker room, what he's telling the guys is very different. I guarantee you. The song he's singing behind closed doors.
He's telling you Kyle Lowry shooting 33% from downtown. Let him shoot the ball. And he's your all-star. Let him shoot. Which other all-star in the league? Which other all-star in the NBA would drop 10 points in a crucial game 5? And the topic for today's show is not whether he flopped the game. You ever see LeBron? If LeBron James came out and dropped 10 points, if Kawhi Leonard came out and dropped 10 points, if anyone came out and dropped 10 points in a crucial game 5, that would be the first hot or not on the show. We'd be talking about did he choke, but because it's Kyle Lowry and everyone loves him and he's such a nice guy and he's such a great leader, it's not an issue. Because don't worry, he cheered on his teammates and he flopped a few times to draw offensive fouls. It's cool. This is a guy who, for his entire career in Toronto, the city wasn't called Toronto. It was called LeBronto until Kawhi Leonard came and LeBron James went to the Western Conference. And he still was making all-star teams. I don't ever want to hear Kyle Lowry is underrated. Never, ever again. I don't want to hear it.
All I'm going to say, yeah, tonight he gets a chance to prove the point. As we can all see, Game 6, watch it happen. That's all I'm going to say to you.
Watch him pull out now to prove me wrong.
Just watch it happen.